Hello grapplers and welcome to a new Zangief video. Today we're gonna talk about Super Level 3, the jump scare Zangief has. The game lists the Super as a 7 framer, but it is in fact a 6 framer. The 7th frame is just the screen freeze. You can use it for the -6 situations. The range is similar to medium SPD, more or less the same. From here you can grab with medium SPD and it's mostly the same. I think it has a little less range than medium SPD. Around this range you can still hit people with Super Level 3. It deals good damage, 4,800 points of damage when you just landed neutral, and the CA version is 5,300 points of damage. There are some drawbacks, and I'd say the biggest drawback is not being able to combo into the Super Level 3. And we'll see in a few seconds that is a big issue with Zangief. You always have to reset with Zangief. I think we already established that situation during a lot of videos. Zangief does not have the best combos. If you don't use Drive Rush, for example, his combos are super limited. Since Zangief is mostly around +6 or more after Drive Rush, this one, that is +6. Since level 3 doesn't combo, you have to wait for a few frames in order to input the level 3. If you do it right away, the hit stun is still active. The same thing happens with this one on regular hit, this one normal hit, and so on and so on. So Zangief is almost always between +6 or more, with a few exceptions. For example, a regular hit standing medium punch, +2. You can technically go for the level 3. Crouching medium kick, also +2. And the standing light punch, +4. If you really want to secure your Super Level 3, you have to use either standing light punch or crouching medium punch. Because this is +4 and this is +3. It gives you basically a free reset into Super Level 3. And since Zangief is already a pretty reset heavy kind of character, people expect some kind of grab, so they either backdash or forward jump. If you don't want to reset your opponent, you have to use it either if the opponent is going for a block string and there's a small space where you can mash super, or Super Level 3 on wake up. When was the last time you saw a Zangief player going for a reset into level 3? Let's say for example Ken wants to go for Dragon Slash, the heavy version +1, into the frame trap with crouching light punch. He's dead. The super is invincible from frame 1 to frame 6. Always catch people if they're close to you and they're mashing. As a defensive option, I'd say level 3 is pretty decent. And you do have other interesting situations like this. You can use level 3. The only problem being, people already expect Zangief to go for that. So a lot of people lately have been very careful about Zangief in terms of the Super Level 3. They either go for a neutral jump and you're dead, or a backdash and you're also dead. If the opponent loves to mash, sure, go for Super Level 3. Otherwise, be very careful. Now, as a wake-up option, it's mostly the same. People love going for midis, especially midi grab, a midi attack that leaves them closer to you. Usually, you can use level 3 to surprise the opponent and be a little crazier with it. But the best option, I think, is not necessarily using level 3 during strings or as a wake-up, but doing it after the opponent's Drive Rush. I think people, this is the moment where people do not expect anything from Zangief. Let's say this Ken player wants to use crouching medium kick, Drive Rush, but he wants to delay the next attack. Probably going for a grab, maybe a heavy punch. He wants to delay the Drive Rush. He's dead. If he goes for the same situation but he uses crouching light punch or standing light punch, those have no gap, so your Super Level 3 doesn't come out. Well, it did there because I had the dummy with the immediate Super Level 3. And this happens for every option, every Drive Rush that has a gap. But if he goes for throw and he delays the standing heavy punch, he hits the Super Level 3. So I think as an option against Drive Rushes that have gaps, Super Level 3 is super effective. I wouldn't recommend waking up with Super Level 3 because I think people already expect, unless the opponent is super into mashing, I'd say waking up is the worst option. Then we have Super 3 as a defensive option against pokes. For example, so this is an example where your Super Level 3 will eat the strings with lights. Even if they chain the lights, they still have gaps. Usually 2 frames, 1 frame. Kami usually goes for 3 light punches, and you'll see that she has gaps. It's a chain, but a chain obviously with the gaps between the punches. So she said, against strings that have gaps, Super Level 3, have it ready. And against dry brushes that have gaps, also use Super Level 3. And if you don't have any option, and the opponent goes for a, let's say you're in burnout, this is pretty common. That has no gap, right? And since this option doesn't have a gap, it will create a lock in the corner. So you don't be scared if this happens. She's gonna be plus though. +1. But that's a lock. However, if the opponent goes for something with a gap between the attack and the drive impact, Super 3 comes out. If you, for some reason, see the drive impact after anything, just match your Super Level 3. Especially in the corner, because if it's a gapless attack into drive impact, that's a lock. And if the attack has a gap, your Super 3 comes out and you punish the drive impact of the opponent. Sadly, since it doesn't combo, the use of Super Level 3 is extremely limited. It's pretty bad because if the opponent is blocking, you're not close enough or close enough in the neutral to go for Super Level 3. And I know this sounds pretty awesome, like whoa, you can reset into Super Level 3. Again, it's pretty obvious when Zangief is going for a reset. So people expect to jump. They sometimes press buttons, whatever the case. So at the end of the day, you do have to condition your opponent way too much in order to actually reset into Super Level 3. It's dangerous, you lose a very significant defensive option. It's a very risky situation for Zangief. You kinda want to have Super Level 2 at least. That doesn't mean you don't have to use it. If the opponent is super scared, sure, go for the level 3, like after headbutt. Just remember that since the super doesn't combo on hit, you do have to delay your frames a little bit, at least 2 frames, in order to be around +4 and grab them with the Super Level 3. If you do land Super Level 3, you're gonna be +26, really far from the opponent. Now here your options are, again, super limited. Maybe the best ones are just Drive Rush, Knee, Medium Punch. Everything you do here is risky. Micro Walk, Wheel Kick is an option. Also depends if the opponent is waking up with something. If they don't, then ooh, it's really hard for you to catch them. If they're waking up with Crouching Light Punch, for example. But it all depends, because if they use a longer poke, ooh, like let's say Crouching Medium Kick. So at best, you can get a far standing medium punch after Drive Rush or a knee. Not the best Oki in the world. You can also SPD sometimes, depending on the button. It all depends. But your Oki is super limited. You do have to Drive Rush in order to close the distance, but it's not the best Oki. I'd say it's even worse than regular SPD. One final thing I have to say regarding Super Level 3 is that you can buffer it. Depending on the situation, this might be either a good idea or a super hard read. The classic one that comes from Street Fighter 5 is the knee into Super Level 3. Something like that. You can also use it after every single attack. Again, this depends, because at the end of the day, it's a possible reset. So you're more or less in the same situation I described before, but you can use it from, I don't know, let's say you're really far. You're over here. Your Super Level 3 will not connect. But you landed a Crouching Light Punch. You can buffer the Super Level 3, walk, and press the punch, and the Super 3 comes out. I mean, you can do it after almost everything. But if you're really that close, I don't think it matters. You're already trying to reset into super level 3. This is mostly useful against poking from afar. I've seen some people doing the walking 720. I think that's useful in some situations, but again, since the grab is closer to the range of medium SPD, I don't think it's that useful. That doesn't mean that it's entirely useless. It's a skill that takes significant time to develop, and you can use it in this game. People move too much in this game, so rarely someone is standing in the neutral, because obviously they have to block your crouching light punch, so you can buffer here. You're poking them, but in the neutral, it's very hard for them to stand still. So a walking 720 is very, very difficult to achieve and actually land in a match, especially against very mobile characters like Dalsim, JP, Luke, Ken, etc, etc. Probably the best defensive option currently Zangief has, so you have to take that into consideration when you're being poked or you're in the corner and you are in burnout. That's it, guys. We're close to the end of the year. I hope you had a great Christmas. I'll see you in a few days with the last video of the year. It's not gonna be a tech video. It's mostly going to be like a really relaxing kind of update for you guys. Thanks as always. Keep playing grapplers, keep grinding, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.